From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Hope you're getting out and enjoying this beautiful weather. We've got some more beautiful weather. We could be breaking some records this afternoon. We saw a couple of records. Mount Shasta City, for example, broke a record yesterday. Again, we could be threatening some records again here for today, even for parts of the valley. But after today, we're going to start to see the temperatures drop, although still very nice tomorrow. We're going to be looking at a 10 to 15 drop. 10 to 15 degree drop, that is, going into the weekend. Now by Sunday, that's when we're really seeing the temperatures drop, and that's when we're also seeing the next chance for rain and high elevation snow. And speaking of snow, as low as 3,500 feet, but to see anything significant, you're gonna have to go above 5,000 feet. And of course, that's gonna impact some of your mountain travel, especially over some of those higher mountain passes. And then starting into next week, it may be a little unsettled, but I'm beginning to kind of steer more and more toward the direction of drier conditions for Monday and Tuesday. But the 7-day forecast may show a little otherwise. We'll get into that a little bit more detail. But looking at your forecast for the rest of the day today, yeah, gorgeous. 80s, mid 80s, maybe even some upper 80s for some of the warmer spots in the valley. It's going to be warm. It's going to feel like more like spring, almost approaching summer. Okay, maybe not summer, but close. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s for the higher elevations. Yeah, I mean 70s for the higher elevations. The coast, though, obviously one of the cooler spots will be in the upper 50s there. All right, so this is pretty much just going to continue to move down to the south and east. The main impact is just a couple of high clouds. That's it. But what I want to talk about with this system and how it compares to this one, because there are similarities, at least when they first started. This one started right around here as well. So this one was kind of just beginning to develop. The parent storm was up to the north, the main area of low pressure, and then of course all of this cloud cover coming in. So that what this storm system did, is it moved down where it is now. And the main impact for us was just some high clouds. That's it. Now what this is doing, though, in the other area of low pressure, is paving the way for this one coming in behind it. So this area of low pressure that's developing right now is not going to move here, but it will actually move right over Northern California. And that's why we do expect to see the rain, possible thunderstorms, but this is not going to be a steady rainfall event. You'll see that as we take a look at Futurecast here. Later this afternoon and evening in particular, I think Humboldt Bay around Humboldt County, we can start to see some of that fog developing. Now overnight, I think everyone along the coast will be looking at that fog through the morning and even through the afternoon. It's going to persist through the day. Then by Saturday evening, the rain moves in. So it is dry for everyone through the entire day on Saturday. By Saturday evening, Saturday night, it's just hitting the coast. Then by about 10, 11 o'clock at night, that heavier band of rain is pushing through. Now, this is when we're seeing some moderate to heavy rainfall for parts of the North Coast making its way into Trinity County. Everyone else still around 11 o'clock Saturday night, still looking at dry conditions. Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, now it's pushing through the valley. This is the first band of rain. This is when I think we're going to see the heaviest amount of rainfall in many areas, because notice it's moving from southwest to northeast. This is in advance of the main area of low pressure. Snow levels between 3,500 and 4,500 feet. You see the spin that we're seeing in the atmosphere? That's because the area of low pressure is moving down to the south and east. So we're seeing the instability as a result of that area of low pressure in place. There is some moisture to work with, so we are seeing scattered showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm and overcast skies. There may be some breaks in the clouds for some of us. By the time we get into Sunday afternoon, we're still kind of seeing the area of low pressure spinning around. Now, it depends on how quickly this moves on out, but it looks like it'll be off to our east by Monday, and that would mean most likely looking at drier conditions. But before we go into next week, let's talk about rain through the weekend. Now, with a storm system like this, it's very difficult to predict exactly how much rain we're going to see for each particular location, because it depends on who gets caught under some of these brief periods of moderate to heavy rainfall should these thunderstorms develop. But I think on average in the valley, you're going to be looking at anywhere from a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall to possibly around a half of an inch of rain. Again, depending on where you are. Now, I think we'll probably see anywhere from, say, a half an inch to maybe even 3/4 of an inch for parts of the north coast. And as usual, we're seeing less rainfall off to the east. Taking a look at the snowfall totals, you have to go above 4,000, really above 5,000 feet before you start seeing anything significant. That being said, mountain travel is going to be impacted for the higher mountain passes. I-5 for the most part should be okay, but you definitely need to check those road conditions through the day on Sunday. I think Highway 299 West should be okay. Maybe Highway 36 seeing the potential for chain requirements. And I think where we're going to see most of those chain requirements will be east of I-5 over those higher mountain passes. And of course, heading southward into the Tahoe region, most likely seeing chain requirements there as well, as we've got those higher mountain passes there. So we take you into Monday. So what I was talking about, the area of low pressure is down to our south and east. We're not really seeing any rainfall through the day on Monday here. However, the European forecast model still has a chance for a stray shower for the coast and the higher elevations, and most likely dry in the valley. So I've got that reflected in the 7-day forecast, but I'm not very confident that we're going to see much activity on Monday, or Tuesday for that matter. Tuesday I'm keeping dry for everybody, and then the next system comes in on Wednesday. This one will bring our next round. You can see the area of low pressure right here, snow in the mountains, rain in the lower elevations. Then by Thursday, it's pretty much out of here. Friday, we're looking at high pressure building in, and we've got those dry conditions. So next week, we'll call it cool and unsettled, especially for the first half. But by the second half of the week, we're looking at warmer temperatures as high pressure begins to build in, and drier conditions too. Very dry, very warm today in the valley, upper 70s to even mid 80s for some of your daytime highs today. Temperatures in the mountains will be in the 60s and even 70s. And we're talking upper 50s to low 60s here for those of you along the coast. Tonight, fairly mild, mid 40s give or take for the valley. Still pretty cool in the mountains. We're talking 20s and mainly 30s though in the higher elevations, and I do expect those temperatures to be in the low to even some mid 40s overnight tonight for the coast. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. We're dry all day today. We're dry all day tomorrow. So high clouds coming in later in the day, but mainly sunny through the day on Saturday. It's going to be hard to believe that we're going to go from 73 to 57 for that daytime high on Sunday. And of course, the showers and thunderstorms possibly, right? And then we go into Monday, Tuesday, I'm keeping it dry. Another round of showers coming in on Wednesday. Let's take a look at the North Coast, and that's going to include the inland areas in Trinity County. So again, it's Sunday is the main event, right? Now, see the raindrops coming in there on Monday. Don't be alarmed by that. I think it'll be mainly dry. In fact, when you watch my evening forecast, I may be taking that out of the forecast as far as rain is concerned. And that's the case here on Tuesday, and then more wet weather coming in on Wednesday of next week. Siskiyou County, Modoc County in the eastern mountains, you're dry all day Saturday as well. And then there you can see Sunday, snow levels as low as 3,500 feet, but honestly, that might be pushing it. I say 3,500 to 4,500 feet for those snow levels. Again, same story here. I may be taking this out of the forecast later this evening, but otherwise you've got dry conditions again on Tuesday with more wet weather going into Wednesday of next week. That is your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening at 6 p.m. Have yourselves a great afternoon.